Welcome to Roleplay Geeks. I'm your host, Frank.
I'm your token hippie, John.
I'm a Christmas miracle.
That you are.
How do you follow that, man? I mean, how are they supposed to follow that, the Steves?
Steven follows that every week.
Yeah, but this time I think it's the first time it's gotten biblical. So that's a little different. But I'm Steve. I am not miraculous.
This is Steve-O, a.k.a. the other Steve.
And this week, we're going to bring you holiday gifts that you can buy for your gamer.
And we're also going to sing. We're going to do Christmas carols for an hour.
Ooh!
So stay tuned.
I have a whole list I'd like to do.
That'll be a hoot.
Carol of the Hells.
Yeah.
I will start.
Christmas tree.
Oh. All right, then. So, these are gifts that you could purchase for your gamer friends and colleagues and loved ones and whatever. Ideas that we ran across while we were, doing much of the same with our friends and loved ones and colleagues and whatnot, and thought we'd share them with you. We just have varying lists. I think everyone's come with some ideas. We're going to go in no particular order. I am going to go first because I want to steal one of Jimmy's, I think. I'm only guessing. We haven't shared our list with each other, so we don't know who's got what, but I'm going to guess that he has this one, which is you can have a custom made.
Damn it, bastard. That's mine.
Miniature. From the Hero Forge system.
That's why I wanted to go first.
I know. That's why I went first, because I'm the host. I get to do that. Anyway, so if you haven't checked out Hero Forge, it's a great site, and you can spend about 17 long hours just tweaking and messing around with different miniatures that you can make. And one of the wonderful things about the Hero Forge site is you can download the 3D model, which means that if you have a 3D printer or access to a 3D printer for, I think it's like $2 or $3 or $4 for a model, it's really cheap to get the 3D file, and then you can produce it. And producing a miniature in terms of filament or whatever material that you use is John and Jimmy could tell you because they have the 3D equipment. The rest of us don't. But I'm guessing pennies. Very
pennies.
little money to make a model. So.
Literally.
If you don't have access to it, it's not that much money to have them print it. And they can print it in a variety of ways and mediums, from plastic to metal and lots of places in between. And you can get it in color. You can get it in just sort of black and white. It's kind of up to you. It's a neat system. And I find it actually an interesting tool to use when I'm making a character. I go and I try to visualize my character using the Hero Forge tools, and it helps me sort of solidify what's going on. So even if you don't make a model or download a model out of it, it's kind of cool to mess around with.
Yeah.
Anybody have any comments on Hero Forge?
I'd like to add some of that since I actually did research on it. So it's probably a little late in the season to have the models actually manufactured and mailed to you. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks. However, they do offer gift cards, which may be a better idea anyway, because that way your local hero/geek can go in and customize and create their own miniature. They do offer it in standard plastic. Now this is if they create the miniature themselves. They offer it in plastic, which is $19.99, 30mm scale with a 1-inch base. They have premium plastic, which is $29.99. They have color plastic, where it's already been painted essentially for $44.99. And then you could actually have it made in bronze, which each hero will cost you $99.99. Now, something that Frank had just mentioned, if you can actually download for $7.99, you can create your hero, download it the same day, and then send it to your friend, either Jimmy or John, and they can print your miniature for you. But they also offer a 3D tabletop download that is essentially going to be a token for you if you're using games such as Fantasy Grounds. I'm not 100% sure, but it says compatible with Tabletop Simulator. So I know that that also costs $7.99. Another thing you could do here is you can have dice made, custom dice as well. So it's a really neat site, and just as Frank had pointed out, it's a really cool way to get in and just poke around on it for a long time, because it doesn't cost you anything to create your hero, if you like.
I've printed out quite a few of these. I found them very useful for the Curse of Strahd. I created about 4 or 5 different models for Vistani. So that's another thing you can do with it, is you can print out, you know, NPC miniatures. You also have different bases, and the bases are really cool. Frank's really like gotta go.
I just want to know if the plural of Vistani is Vistani?
Vistani?
Plural?
I don't know.
Like you had pointed out a bunch of Vistani, so it would be
Vistanis. I don't. Steven's the English major. What's the plural?
Ask our English major.
Yeah, what's the plural for Vistani?
I kind of lost you there in my headset, because I'm trying to determine what word you're trying to use, and I can't. It's like Vistani.
Okay, I think it is pronounced Vistani. Vistani.
Frank is asking if Vistani, the plural of Vistani, would be Vistani.
or
Correct. Might be its own plural.
That's right. So, or is it its own plural?
This is the dumbest aside ever.
It's us. What do you expect?
Oh, really? I think that if we could go back through almost a year's worth of episodes and evaluate that.
Don't point at the blemishes.
Mr. Giggle Pants. I think we could go back and evaluate. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Jimmy had printed out many things, and
Can we let Stephen weigh in here, please? Stephen, what is the plural of Vistani? Vistani. I don't know.
Jimmy, I don't even know what the hell Vistani is.
Oh, I thought you were familiar with the Curse of Strahd.
None of us are as much as you are. So,
I'm familiar with some of the Curse of Strahd, but if you're asking if a word from something based on Eastern European myth is something that the English major would know, no.
I would just think you would be able to, with all of your vast knowledge, be able to extrapolate that out into, I don't know, fantasy languages. Anyway,
no.
I think we've killed enough time here. Let me get back to what I was talking about with the mounts. So you can have like different kind of mounts for your miniature too. So you can have it printed just standing up, or you can have it printed on the back of like a warg or a horse, maybe even a mule. I wonder if they have an ostrich. Oh, if they have an ostrich, I'm definitely going to go buy one.
I'm sure you could find one.
Yeah.
If you look hard enough.
But the other thing I like about them too is they have the option to have a base that is like a for initiative trackers, where you set it on top of the Dungeon Master screen and move it across. I don't know if they have any other types of bases other than that basic L shape that allows you to set it on top of the Dungeon Master screen.
Yeah, I know they have hex bases and they have round bases, and then it's kind of neat on the bases on the models. You can have like little items and stuff that may make sense for your character, like bags of gold or a campfire or whatever.
Do they have bases and acids?
Have what?
It's a biology chemistry joke. Just let's let it go.
Don't let it go.
Don't engage the nerd.
Okay, so that's one item on the list. Let's hear from John.
Okay, so this is kind of similar, and I don't know if it's on something else, but this one site, I think it's Rose Inside. They had personalized D20 dice, and you could just personalize if you rolled a natural 1 or a natural 20. So I think they had, like, as examples, if you rolled a natural 1, it's fuck. which is what drew me to it, of course. And I don't know. I didn't see anything where they actually had something for. I think they had just crit is the only thing they had for that. Another one they had was fuck you. So I mean, there was a couple little things that they had for ooh. I don't know what that is. So anyway, they had a couple of different little things I thought might
could have been woohoo.
No, it looks like UWU on the picture.
Uh-oh.
No, UWU.
Are we getting into semantics here again? Come on, man.
No, it's not semantics. I think it's just one of these things that the kids say that we are too old to know about.
The kids say.
Seriously, ask your kids. They might know what it is. I've seen it before on something else, but yeah, I'm too old to know these things. It's a miracle I remember my own name, much less than these newfangled stuff. But I thought it would really be kind of neat to have something like that where you'd be like, grit, or mainly the one for fuck. It was, replace that with that. So it'd be really kind of funny.
To the Googles, UWU is an emoticon depicting a cute face. It's used to express various warm, happy, or affectionate feelings.
Oh, yeah. Because if you draw it out, you put the two U's, it looks like kind of the anime eyes, and then the W's kind of like the mouth kind of doing this weird. Yeah, got it. Yeah, that's what I saw it in. So anyway, yeah, I thought that one was really kind of a neat little, and it's like, it's $30, which is kind of expensive for a die, but kind of neat.
Pretty fun, though.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to have. So there's mine.
Now that I know that, I feel like I could take my grandpa pants off and put on my MC Hammer pants.
MC Hammer pants. Those are grandpa pants.
Those are grandpa pants, exactly.
I learned something new today. The more you know. Mine. I got something really cool. This is so cool. It is a monster spell book. So I found this and I thought immediately, this is something
Is it written in monster?
I got to get. It's pretty cool. I'll show it to you guys so you guys can weigh in on it, and then we can describe it. I'll put it on the YouTube channel as well. I'm going to make up something showing each one of the things that we talk about today. But let me see if I can figure out this technology where we do a screen and we do here.
This is prepared professionals.
That's right.
This is how this works.
So that is the thing I found, and I absolutely love it. And what it is it's a box that has been covered with a leather bounded, and it has these eyes in it, monster eyes, and you can do a single eye or two eyes. It has different foam inserts. So you open it up and it's a box on the inside. It's got a little whiteboard. It's got different foam inserts that you can select, and you can select it so that it has a place for cards like Magic the Gathering or other decks that you might be using for your role-playing games. Like I know Deadlands uses cards, for example. And then it has cutouts for your dice or miniatures, a pen, that kind of thing. It is a little pricey. You do get to pick from various colors of leather. I think they have 6 different colors of leather, and they have, I don't know, probably like 8 eyes there, 3, 6, 8, yeah. And you can do single eyes, the Cyclops style monster cover, or you can do 2 eyes for a regular monster with different facial expressions. I think they just have the scowl and the grin. And then the wood box itself that goes underneath that outside covering, you get to choose from 3 different styles of wood: cherry, mahogany, or walnut.
I have to say it's really very cool looking. Can you go back up to the top, scroll back up? Actually, can you go back down to where it shows the contents? One more.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to ask you to go back up now? Can you go back up?
I'm not going up or down anymore, but yeah. Here's an example that shows one of the foam inserts that has dice, 2 miniature cutouts for your little miniatures, a cutout for a deck of cards, and a pen. And then it shows off to the left-hand side there is a dry erase. So when you open up, the lid of the box is a dry erase surface.
That's really cool.
And then here down at the bottom, these are the different inserts that you can select here. I don't know if you can see them below that. They're pretty faint.
Yeah.
But on the website,
that is very cool. I have to say I like that. How much is that?
It's expensive. It's $125. And then if you get it in the walnut, that's another $20.
Hey, Jimmy, you can get me that for Christmas. Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
I'll put it on the list.
Awesome.
It has a 6-week build time, so he would have had to order that, like a month ago.
You can get it for my birthday. That's about 6 weeks. So, haha.
Yeah, Jimmy's picking gifts for the millionaires in your lives.
I did pick a range, but this was the one that most attracted me personally, just because I like monsters and little critters and that kind of thing. And the monster eyes are awesome.
The only thing I have to say though is that I'm not as big a fan of the face.
Oh, you don't have to get the face. They have some They have others. I mean, I love the face, but they have others where you can get regular leather and you can have imprinted dragons or things like that. You know?
That's cool. Yeah, that'd be what I'd be going for. I mean, I do kind of like the Cyclops one with that goofy grin on it. I think that looks kind of funny.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, so you have different symbols that you can get on there. I don't know what symbols they have available. There's the one with the dragon. Here's the artwork. Cool. So they have a lot of, it looks like probably about 20 different pieces of artwork that you can do here at the bottom.
Those are really nice. Very well done. Who is this?
It is elderwoodacademy.com. I think those are the ones who made your dice
I wanted
boxes.
to take this opportunity to go to one of my next ones, which is something called a Hex box. And the reason I wanted to jump in here at this is because Elderwood Academy is actually the company that produces those Hex boxes. And John and I both have ones of these. They're a little box that is a hex, and it holds a collection of dice, and it comes in two varieties. One has an insert that allows you to have like individual slots for your dice, and the other one is just sort of open, and you can just dump in however many dice you can get in there. I found you can get, for the most part, an entire standard set with 3d6 and the whole 9 yards, plus one or two others. So it's a good little box to carry your dice in, and it's probably, I don't know, about 4 or 5 inches in diameter, if I'm remembering correctly.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you have better remembering sizes than I am. So
yeah. What I was going to say was, I think actually on the if you go back to the box, one of the inserts actually looked like it was a foam cutout for a hex box.
Yeah, it does look like that, and what you'll see on the link, if you check out the YouTube side of things, is that you can get different emblems sort of cut into it, because I'm pretty sure they do this with the CNC machine or something like that. Yeah. You can do different emblems cut into the top of it. I don't know if they still do this. I haven't looked at the details, but they used to be able to do writing on the side, and you can pick different languages. So, for example, on mine, I have something written in Elvish, which is kind of neat. But what I have written in Elvish is I rolled a 4.
Right.
Which just amuses me to no end. They are a little more affordable than the bigger box. They're about $40 a piece. So they're still a little pricey, but it's kind of a neat way to carry your die from session to session.
Right. Yeah, I think I got the open box for mine, and I got the Ranger face one that they had. I'm trying to remember what that one looked like. And then, yeah, they've got, it's on there somewhere.
There's lots of things you can choose, and they have ones that they sort of associated with a particular class or whatever it may be, a ranger or a rogue or sorcerer or whatever it may be, which is, it's kind of neat. You can also just get something kind of plain. You can, in fact, at one time you could upload your own, but I don't know if they still do that bit. And there's lots of woods you could choose from. In the boxes, there's 3 woods. In these hex boxes, there's like 9 or 10 different woods you can pick from, like bloodwood and purple heart and all sorts of neat things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next? Steve-O.
I actually wanted to make a comment about the cover of the book. If anybody here is fans of the Evil Dead, the Necronomicon makes an appearance in that, and in the third movie, Army of Darkness, the book looks very similar to that because it has a mouth on it and eyes and everything. At least to me, that's the first thing it reminded me of. I thought that was pretty cool. So if you want to make your own Necronomicon custom book box, there you go. So I do have a gift for people that perhaps have a more modest budget. Mine is called the Bag of Holding. And this is pretty neat. It's from Fat Dog Designs. Let me see right here. This is a little tote bag called a Bag of Holding. It's from Fat Dog Designs. It's about the right size to put your gamer books in and things like that. Now, it has some die on it, like a D4, D12, D20, D6, and a D10. And the nice thing about this bag, and you still have time, you can actually customize it. There's several different colors. You could say, you can have someone's initials or their name put on it. So you could say, for instance, Frank's Bag of Holding. And again, this one is the size for $26.99. Is the size to tote your game books, your average size game books.
Looks like a diaper bag.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And then you can also get a smaller version of it, which is $16.99, which may be more appropriate for smaller items, just like dice or decks of cards. So that is, you know, just a neat little gift idea that could be customized for the gamer in your life to, and hopefully when this whole craziness of the COVID is over, we can all get together and game again in person, and this will be perfect.
That would make a perfect diaper bag.
Come on, man. Don't be dissing on my gift idea.
No, I'm actually thinking I might get it. Initially, I was thinking since my kids are out of diapers, it would work for me. But then I think to myself,
you'll be needing yourself soon. So.
Exactly. If I live long enough, like another 2 years, that will work for my diapers.
Depends in there.
Yep, that's awesome. I love the side logo there, the bag of holding.
You'll definitely need a larger one.
Shut up.
So I hate to piggyback again, but it actually does lead nicely into two different ones that I had, which is, you know, these all go together of a notion of a bag or stuff around with, which is kind of cool. I found one that is for your millionaire in your life, and let me share my screen.
I have a millionaire in my life.
Okay, so this one is the cheaper of the two. Which is this enhanced RPG adventurers bag, and you can get on Amazon. You can still order it if you want. It's a really cool bag with a lot of compartments, and it's given a lot of thought, I think, to how to move a lot of things that you'll need in an average gaming session. There's a place for figure storage. There's a place for dice. There's a place for books. You can even strap in a map if you wanted to, as you can see from the picture, which I just think is kind of nifty that they've given a lot of thought to it. Now, it's pretty pricey at $85, but you know, if it's a type of thing that you're going to a lot of sessions, if you play at a lot of stores, if you engage in a lot of cons, you may want to carry it around a lot of material in a very dense system. And it's a very, I think, handsome and attractive bag. So that's the cheaper of the two. That's for the person who, you know, you want to spend some money on. Now let's talk about
the cheap one. Oh, wow. Okay.
What? That's the cheap.
Hey, that looks like a pharmaceutical reps convention bag.
It does, in fact, look like a pharmaceutical reps convention bag.
You just really needed to like totally diss my little tote bag, didn't you?
I like that tote bag. No, I'm just saying it's multi-use. I mean, you can think outside of the box, and that it can be a bag of holding
like
for your
wooden
diapers.
Cask up and shit, man. Come on.
That's where I
the
put
next
my beer.
one is if you want to spend some real money, which is this is a company called Adventurers Gear, and what they do is they essentially make replica items for people who want to do like cosplay or LARPing or something like that. So it's a way you can get a lot of sort of fantasy gear that looks authentic. Well, one of the things you can get is a bag, and this is a leather bound bag. It looks you know, maybe dissimilar to a mail pouch that would have been used, you know, 500 years ago, 200 years ago, whatever it may be, or something like that. But it holds books, and it's designed to hold books and pens and paper and things like that. You can get something nicely emblem on there. I don't know what it costs really, because they're just, if you have to ask, you can't afford it territory, because it's all leather and brass buckles and things like that. But this is definitely a for the game in your life, a item that you could talk about and share and sort of keep forever. And it's just really, really neat, but you know, it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah. It looks like a messenger bag.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like a messenger bag from the Old West or something like that.
Where do you get this?
The reason I didn't link directly to the item and instead to the article that talks about the item is because you actually go to Facebook. They have a Facebook page, and you go to it and you order custom items, and they can make a lot of different things. They can make gloves or bracers or a dagger or, you know, whatever it may be. But this was kind of a nifty one I thought could be used by more gamers than just people who are doing, you know, cosplay or whatever it may be.
You know, what would be a great idea is why don't we use our Facebook page and post all these things on there, and then maybe in the next couple of days, if any of our listeners have ideas for gifts, you know, they could post some things as well. Post links to all these items. What do you think?
That is a good idea. We should definitely do that.
If you're listening out there, if you have a gift idea, go to our Facebook page, link to your item that you think would make a great gift, and everyone take a look at what everybody posts. It'd be awesome.
Who's next?
So the monogram bag gave me a thought, and that's the perfect gift if you live in a culture where nerds are bullied, so that you can give it to your child so the bullies can know their name when they're kicking the shit out of them. So whether you want to go cheap.
Today's Warm and Fuzzy Thought is brought to you by Steven.
By Steve. You know,
hey, that's the way I grew up, right?
Right. You know, and you have choices from inexpensive cloth base to custom leather, so that your child, whether poor or rich, can be known by all the other classmates. That's a little bit of retro action for you there. So, however, my gifts are cheap for the most part.
Inexpensive.
And one of them is a question. Do you guys know what the name of the Greek goddess of memory is?
I forget.
I forget. Yeah, you beat me too.
Memoritis.
Memoritis.
That's the Roman version.
Right. That is a little closer to the Roman co-opt of the goddess of memory. So the goddess of memory, the root word of it is used in another word that you know, and that's mnemonic. And the way you pronounce her name is kind of contentious if you look for it. So some people pronounce it, oh boy, I always hate this.
Let me guess, is it mommy or nami or manami or
That's kind of how it is. It's like Mnemosyne. A lot of people say Mnemosyne, but
Timo
it could be Mnemosyne. It has a flow to it. So it's one of two things. It's either a bastardization outside of Greece, or it's more of a Grecian sound. But there is a company that sells these wonderful spiral bound notebooks, and you spell it Mnemosyne. And if you search for that on Amazon, you'll see these notepads. And I love them because they're fold flat, they're easy to flip through, and each page has one side that is tiny graph paper and one side that is blank. And I use them for all kinds of things. I use them to jot down characters, to make mini maps, to sketch things, and they're super, super sleek, super simple, wonderful little product. Jimmy, you keep making faces.
I have questions. Did you say how much it cost?
I thought he had gas, but go ahead.
Right. It was prelude to...
He's like a baby.
I'm trying to picture it. So how much are they?
They range in price, I believe, from about $8 on up, because there are different sizes.
That was going to be my second question.
There you go. The one that I have is the 5x8, which is more of a slightly larger diary size. And that's something that's easy to kind of jot down something before bed or just carry around with you. But they make large ones as well.
What's the biggest they make?
That I don't know, because that started to get into territory where I wouldn't use it.
Oh, I was thinking for maps and stuff. Like larger ones would be good for maps.
Yes. Now, I know they make larger ones. I don't have the screen up right now because I'm actually trying to conserve battery power because I'm on battery.
Uh-oh. So,
right.
Yeah, we'll put those details up on the website and Facebook account.
And to go along with that, for even cheaper, I don't know how many of our listeners use eBay to try and find items for anything. Okay. I've been using eBay since eBay started, and eBay has gotten crowded with all kinds of people selling all kinds of things. eBay fees have gotten kind of exorbitant, and they're changing their pay model this coming month. So if you wanted to look for things that old gamers used to have, if you're looking for vintage items, there's an auction site for Goodwill, and it's called shopgoodwill.com. I used to use it to buy audio stuff, but I've also used it to buy role-playing stuff. And right now, if you go to shopgoodwill.com and just type in dungeons, you should get at least 20 items ranging from 1st edition all the way up through sometimes 5th. Yes, Frank.
And just to note that what people may not realize, because I'm sure it's high probability there's a Goodwill in your area. When you go to Shop Goodwill, it's actually all of the United States, I think. So you're shopping or bidding on things that may be across the country from where you're at, not just locally.
Right. And that's one of the things that they started doing about, I want to say it was over 20 years ago when they started their Shop Goodwill auction site. So they got the idea that some of these more posh stores were getting things that were maybe worth a little bit more money than they were willing to put in the glass case underneath the register up front. So they started shunting these things over to the auction site. Now, the past 10 years, there's been a steady increase in keeping these things out of circulation locally and putting them up online nationally. Now, the awesome thing is, what was that, Steve?
Oh, I said I'm back. I lost the internet for a second. I was just miming, hey, I'm back. I'm not frozen anymore.
I didn't know you were frozen, and I was like, what is he thumbing up and all excited about? I don't understand.
Well, I thought it was going to be a repeat of what, about 2-3 episodes ago, I was going for something like 35 minutes or something. So, and then I'm repeating things you guys had already talked about. So,
Gotcha. So
please continue.
Oh, thank you. I've bought things there from 1st edition Dungeons and Dragons books to miniatures to all kinds of things. So if you have a gamer who's looking for something, if you're looking to get them something a little more interesting and a little more vintage, you can always check there. And in addition, they also have a pretty robust tabletop gaming section for board games. And it's amazing the board games that people will buy, decide that they don't like, and then donate to Goodwill, so Goodwill can make a profit on what they lost money on. So they have all kinds of modern board games as well. So keep that in mind.
Okay, Steve-O, you have something.
Yeah, so you guys know I am a big fan of playing nothing wrong with Dungeons and Dragons. We all love it. We all play the game every week. But I'm also a fan of branching out your role-playing games and trying something different. My favorite game company is 2 of them. One is Chaosium, which create very great looking products. And the other one, of course, is Mongoose, who creates the version of Traveler that we use. And I had to say Traveler because our people are stone cold sober right now if they're playing the Traveler drink game.
And so, given the theme of the episode, I would encourage you to have bourbon infused eggnog.
Right, exactly. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me help get things along. Traveler. Now
hold on, John. We don't want them throwing up in the middle of the podcast, so got to give them a little.
That'll just get them kind of warm,
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, one thing that Chaosium has that's pretty neat. If you go to their website, which is pretty simple, chaosium.com. And first of all, if you want to order a book from them, well, I should say, first of all, if you're going to buy anything for the geek in your life, go down to your local hobby shop because these guys are really struggling. So if you want to go around and look for gifts or something to give them, I would recommend to support your local hobby shop. However, I don't have one in my town any longer, so I have to order everything online. And one thing, Chaosium.
If you're in Morgantown, you can go to a hobby shop. It's the Four Horsemen, and it's pretty awesome.
Right.
Found at the local mall here, right off of 79.
I kind of feel like we missed an opportunity to have a guest on this episode.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would like to get Ron back on the show soon anyway, just to check in with him, because when did we have him? In April, somewhere around there, right in the midst of lockdown and all that kind of stuff. So it would be nice to have him back on the show and see how things are going now, and if there's been any improvement in the local hobby scene. But anyway, so one thing, pick your favorite game company and go to their merchandise section. That's what I did. And one thing I found was jigsaw puzzles. Chaosium has created jigsaw puzzles of some of their beautiful artwork that you can find in the books or that you typically buy, or the Dungeon Master screen, or should say Game Master screen, or let's see, they call it the Keeper screen. Anyway, it'd be kind of a neat item. It's not very expensive, and you could order it, and I'm sure you could have it in time for Christmas. So that would be good for the fans of either, say, Call of Cthulhu or Runequest, or one of those games, a jigsaw puzzle. And of course they have shirts and other things like that. So something outside of the gamer universe might be fun for the gamer in your life, or for you. Buy your own gift.
Yeah, another one that I'd come across that I thought was really neat. We don't do a lot of miniatures in our play, but we sometimes need them for, just kind of showing out where, maybe battles are when we're in the middle of something, or if we need to do just kind of lay out a dungeon or whatever. And so there was a couple that I came across on Amazon, and one was a D&D tabletop game tokens wood laser cut token set, and they're 25 millimeter. They're 25 millimeter, and they're I don't know how many monsters it was. I'm trying to see it, but it's 110 pieces total. But they have multiple ones of each monster, so they are numbered, so you can kind of keep track of all that. Giant number 1, giant number 2, whatever. So if you need to keep track of them, now they show it in the picture with a little nice leather bag that they're in, but I don't know if it actually comes. But it looks like they basically come in a sheet that you just punch out the little tiles. But they look pretty nice, and considering they're 1 inch, they'll go in with other stuff, and you don't have to have a lot of miniatures. So I think it'd really be a kind of nice little setup. And apparently they even have another one that even has some hero tokens as well. That's another one that has hero and monster token set for a little bit more. Like this one is $21 right now. And then they have one that's $30, and I think it has monsters and heroes in it. And then kind of go along with that, I'd found one that I liked that was a modular dungeon wall system. And it's like foam walls with some stickers to make it look like bricks or whatever. That I thought were kind of neat looking, to make a really nice little setup if you're doing a dungeon that you're playing with. And I thought, a couple little things like that might make it kind of nice to have set up for, when you want to get together and play. And need a little, need to add something so you're not. We've been using whiteboard, draw things out. Problem is that one person that we whiteboard with has a tendency then to start drawing cartoons in the middle of it, and so
hey, I like to do that.
Jimmy,
not mentioning any names, but his initials are Jimmy.
Right. His first name starts with a J, and his last name is Emmy.
Right.
Hey, that's my name.
So yeah, that. But I mean, the the whiteboarding works pretty well for doing some quick things, but this can work pretty nicely because, as I said, it's little nice tokens and stuff, and they're small, so it's not like having full size miniatures. And I did find a thing on Amazon as well where you get like 100 plastic miniatures pretty cheap. So, but some of these things that just kind of help out.
So one thing I found along those lines on Amazon that I thought was really kind of cool to the laser cut wood thing is they actually have some like 3D models of laser cut, usually fantasy settings. So the one that I thought was the neatest was a tavern, and they actually had like a baseboard that was the bottom floor, and then they had another piece that was up about, I don't know, looked like about 6 or 8 inches, and it was sort of a cutout of the upper deck, and then they had attached to it a third deck that had sort of the upstairs where the rooms are and things like that. And they were all normal hex sizes on the flat boards. And I thought that was kind of nifty because you'd get sort of a 3D effect of what the tavern looks like in a multi-floor tavern. So that was kind of nifty.
Okay, I'm back up again. And this next thing is something I've always wanted, and I went ahead and ordered a deck because I just couldn't help myself. So there's this very popular deck of cards in Dungeons & Dragons. I don't know how far back it goes, probably to Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Maybe Stephen or Frank might know, maybe John.
First edition. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Why would I know?
Because you don't like Dungeons and Dragons as much in the old days as you like Traveler.
Dungeons and Dragons first edition, bro.
Okay, so Steve might know.
It's from the first.
I want to say, who taught everybody to play Dungeons and Dragons?
Okay,
huh?
So
where did the seed come from?
Nobody but Steve-O can answer this one. Have you ever heard? Have you ever heard of something called the Deck of Many Things?
Yes.
Okay.
You know who taught me about the Deck of Many Things?
Steve-O.
Steven,
I think, was the first person that told me about it as well.
He ran across it going through, I think it's in the DM guide, the original DM guide, and he ran across it and he was like, there's this really cool thing, and it's the Deck of Many Things. And I was like, what? I remember it. I remember it clear as day. It must have been 8th grade science when he told me about this, because in the science class that we had, there was these 4 seats that the teacher would put you in if you were bad. And it was the dumbest thing because Steve and I didn't sit together. But if we were both bad, we'd end up in that section of the room and then we could talk. It was the dumbest thing she did, but that's neither here nor there. But that's when he told me about it.
You know, I'm very curious what some of this misbehavior was. Can you give us an example of something you and Steven did in order to sit together in the detention chairs?
French kiss.
Again, we didn't sit next to each other, so we couldn't until we got the detention chairs.
I didn't say
so.
Who.
I would like to know what type of behavior.
I don't know. 8th grade science acting up stupid crap. But maybe Steven can remember.
I think Steven will enlighten us. He has a memory like a steel trap, to use a cliche.
Ooh. The only problem is some of those memories are like magnets and they get stuck on the outside. So
it's like a steel colander is what it is.
Yeah, kind of. So there are little bits here and there that you just can't wash out, and some that just go straight through. So the science experience. Well, okay, July 4th, one of the worst fireworks are those stupid worms, the ones that you light and they become these black, like, slinkies that just kind of ooze out of whatever contraption it is you set on fire. Well, there is it used to be in chemistry classes where they would do that in the class to show you reactions and different kinds of reactions that caused and used heat, reactions that didn't, all that kind of stuff. And we were in class one day and the teacher was showing us this at the front of the class, and if I remember correctly, it was let's have a volunteer and make sure you only put in X of Y. And I thought, well, I want a really big worm, and I ended up at the table and made a mess, and that's fine.
I suspect 9 times out of 10, the reason the two of us ended up there was, in the case of Steven, he made a paper airplane because he was really into making different types of paper airplanes at that time. And it was because I was reading, ironically enough, D&D books, because I always got in trouble for that.
That's odd because I remember back when I had chemistry, we called it alchemistry, and we just always we tried to spend all of our time, turning lead into gold. So,
but we've derailed Jimmy's item. Jimmy has a wonderful item that he wanted so much he ordered himself. What was it, Jimmy?
Many things. So that's right. The geek in his life is himself, unlike his 4 other friends.
Yeah.
Nice. That is true. He did. Yeah. No millionaire friends, but a lot of friends who would just really appreciate gifts.
That's because he is the millionaire.
I am not. I wish I were the millionaire.
You can't hide money, Jimmy.
Apparently I can. I can hide it really well.
He forgets about it.
Just look at my real backdrop.
Oh, nice. And for all you listeners, if you had a video feed, you would see the camera panned over to Jimmy's collection of gold statuettes and miniatures on this marble table with gold inlays on it.
Yeah,
and he's also sipping a glass of Dom Perignon as we speak.
In the wine cellar that you see behind the gold statues.
Yeah, it's their gold peak tea edition of their wine.
But again, Jimmy, what was the item that you found?
So it's the deck of many things. I found it on Etsy, and when the minute I saw them, I loved them. They're really beautiful cards. It's made by a young lady. Her Etsy channel is called Visiri Art. She has a YouTube channel where she gives more descriptions and takes you through each one of the cards. And that's called Tobias Visiri on YouTube. And the cards start out at $14.74. They're really large. They're about 2.2 times the size of a Magic card. And so they're fairly large. They have beautiful artwork on them. You have several options. You can get them regular, which is a matte finish, or a foil finish. They also have a wax seal option. If you get the foil with the wax seal, they're $27.27. She herself prefers the matte finish, which is the cheapest version of the card at $14.74. So these, I also found out after the fact that these were used on Critical Role for one of their episodes. So apparently a really good set of cards. There's also another deck of cards called the Deck of Illusions, which I'm not familiar with. Are you guys familiar with those? It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't sell as well, but she does have that as another option. You can pick those up.
It's an illusion,
right? So I thought those were really, really pretty slick looking, and I'm excited to get a set. Yeah, and I have a bunch of others, so just let me know when I can keep rolling.
I have one that I put in here specifically for Stephen.
All right.
And let me share my screen because I think it's important that you see it. Now, it's not that. I haven't clicked on the right link yet.
Oh, good, because I don't want to be part of a donkey show.
Wow. I mean...
Okay. So the reason I put this in here is... Stephen has always been somebody who has talked about one of the negative sides of gaming in a gaming store. Now, us gamers are, let's just say that there are many things we do incredibly well and very nobly and is good, but there are things like every other subgroup of people that we do, maybe a little less attentively than we'd like. And, there are a noteworthy subset of gamers who are, how do we put this nicely, Steve? You can help me out here. You're good at this.
Fragrant.
Fragrant. There we go. Fragrant. Negatively fragrant. Let's put it that way. So if you know a gamer in your life that who could benefit from social interaction when their fragrancy is taken away, you can get them role-playing based perfumes. All right. Now, this is wonderful. I as soon as I saw it, I thought I've got to put this in here for Steven because he'll appreciate it. Not because I'm being very clear, he does not have this problem at any level. Steve always smells wonderful. But he's aware of the scope of the problem. Now, there are a lot of different scents that you can get here. Now I'm gonna sort of alt tab over and scroll through them. Some of them are probably less pleasant than you'd like, but some of them are things like Dwarven Ale perfume oil or Thieves Rosin perfume oil. You can get ones for your alignment. You can get good perfume oil or evil or chaotic.
What about the were rat when I saw there earlier? Were sewer rat or something?
Were rat infested.
So you can get ones for your class.
Used to wear that.
You can get ones that are designed for your class. For example, my bard could get a bard perfume oil, which smells of a blend of bay rum, honey, and white musk. So mingled with a scent of heartwood and lute strings. If you're a fighter, you can get a leather, musk, blood, and steel mixed one. A monk, sandalwood incense, tea leaf, and honeyed saffron. Stephen would, for his current character, would have something that's immaculate white musk, sweet frankincense, bourbon vanilla, white leather, and shining armor for his paladin.
Oh, the only problem
I thought they're essentially they're essential oils, and so just be aware for those who like those things that there's just different scented essential oils. If you don't like them for various reasons, for example, not a lot of people realize the essential oils can be very harmful for cats if they lick it off of you. So if you have cats in your life, maybe you don't want to buy essential oils. This may not be something for you, but I thought this would be one of the more unique ones that I could bring to the table.
Yeah, bring up the sewer rat one. The were rat. What was it? The
were rat
infested sewer.
Yeah, there it is.
Home and linen spray.
That almost sounds like it would be a bad joke to put on someone. Here, let me spray some of this on their bed while they're not looking. It smells like a were rat in here.
So one of the things that I do study in my dissertation is multi-sensory things. And so smell is a very powerful scent, and it's a very strong trigger of memory. And it can help put you in the mood. So you could use this not just to deal with the fragrant player in your life, but you could also use it to help set the olfactory dimension of your gaming session. So there's a lot of cool things up there. They're not stupid expensive necessarily, but check it out.
It could also be used as a weapon, and cool joke, as the paladin spray includes bourbon, which merely reminds me of my father's mustache.
Oh man, I don't even want to go there. I've got basically one more that I think is, if you really can't think of anything else for your gamer in life, we've talked about this website quite a bit in the show. It's called Thru RPG, and they have everything. Most likely, if you're a gamer and you're listening to this, you've run across this webpage, but I have fun just getting on here sometimes and browsing all the games. I've gamed for a very long time, most of my life. And you can find out of print rule systems. You can find brand new rule systems. You can find just about anything. It's all in PDF format. One nice thing, when you set up an account, it keeps everything you've ever bought or downloaded. I pulled up my page and it has all my downloads of different modules and rule books and things that I've downloaded. And so, if you have a hard drive crash, which I experienced a few months ago, you don't lose your products. They're still there. So anyway, just to make it quick, Thru RPG offers gift certificates. So it would be in a digital format. So if you're on Christmas Eve and you need to get the geek in your life one last gift, I would recommend Thru RPG gift certificate, and email it to them on Christmas Day.
Yeah, and those come in different increments of like $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $50, and $100.
Yeah, those are dollars, not gold pieces, not platinum pieces.
Or credits, if you're a science fiction player.
Not credits.
What is the exchange rate now of dollars to gold pieces?
I wonder what credits the gold pieces are. Probably like 50 million credits to one gold piece in the future. I don't know. Maybe gold will be more common because they're, mine those asteroids and find gold all over the place. So,
wouldn't Bitcoin be like credits?
I have to say really quick, while I was looking at the stuff, Amazon will bring up things that, that you might be interested in. So I had all those other things, the miniatures and some of the dungeon walls, etc. And the one that came up, one of the first things that came up was it is Barbie chicken farmer doll. I kid you not. She's wearing a little a little T-shirt that says "Live, Love, Farm," and she's got a little chicken coop, and there's some ducks and chicken eggs and chickens in the coop.
Wow.
Yeah, you can be anything. You can be a chicken farmer.
When my daughter was young, she collected Barbies, so we would have to buy all the new Barbies. I mean, she probably had 50. She probably had 50 or 60 Barbies, and I'm thinking, you know, they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, I think this would be perfect for Jenny. Really.
Oh, Mom, get me the Barbie chicken farmer. I don't have that one
because I have chickens.
Yeah, at first I thought it was like some, fake Barbie, but it really is a real Barbie. I mean, it's got, Barbie, you can be anything down in the corner.
When Barbie gives up the suburban life and the urban fast life and buys a farm in upstate New York.
Green Acres Barbie.
Raises alpacas and chickens.
Okay, so on that note, Stephen, you have something.
Yeah, just sneaking it in at the end there. I wanted to explain to people who don't know me, I love Christmas. I don't really celebrate birthdays. And when I was little, my favorite holiday got beaten out of me, which was Halloween. So I love Christmas. I love the thought of just having a holiday that should be mandated by law that people are excellent to each other during. And so I do have a role-playing related gift that actually costs money. And I thought it was great because it was pretty and it reminded me of Christmas lights. And not the fancy white lights that the rich people had at the end of the street, but the multicolored lights that, everybody I knew had on their trees. But
that may or may not blink in and out of sequence.
Yes, but if they did have multivariant blinking, that was it. That was the thing, which I've got to put mine on today. But there's a company called UR Wizards, letter U, letter R, wizards.com. And I'm going to put this out here because I haven't ordered anything from these guys. And they spell D&D with a capital D and a lowercase n D, which is a little non-standard, which makes me think that they're non-native speakers. But it's a website that deals mostly in custom dice. And some of them are incredibly beautiful. And they've got these really neat ones on their main page right now that they list as diachronic prism glass gemstone engraved dice. And they're like $77. But they refract light sort of like a prism, and it catches colors. They're really cool looking. They're kind of extravagant, but they've got all kinds. Kinda, yeah, I know, right? But you all were talking about expensive stuff, so I said, I'll
I'm not really one to talk with the leather, satchel game thing. So I've got no leg to stand on there.
Yeah, and I mean they've got weird, formatting typos on their page and everything, but their dice are incredible. They even got a set of dice made of malachite, which is one of my favorite gemstones, but it's a soft material. It's a green kind of streaked with black. And I can't imagine you'd ever use it for dice unless you were rolling it in a rubber room, but they offer that as well. And Steve just went all pixelated on us. He's still there. Okay.
He's muted.
I'm still here, man. I'm still here.
Just at the end. I love Christmas. And, here's some expensive dice at this page if you want to take a chance.
Yeah. How much were those again? How much were those again?
Oh, the diachronic prism dice?
Yeah.
$77 for the set.
Wow.
But, when I bought my last set of game science dice before he went out of business, I think my set was almost $65.
Does it at least have 3d6 in it for $77?
No. And that I was wondering if you were going to ask that, And I almost brought it up because the game science dice, when I ordered mine, I specifically got 4d6 in the set. And that's why mine was like $20 more expensive than the base set. So, no, it doesn't.
So I have a final one that I want to cover that kind of goes with but beyond Christmas, which is shortly after Christmas, as we're aware, unless you're Chinese, on the January 1st, we have the new year coming about. And I think we're all pretty happy with the notion that 2020 goes away forever. And you may want to start thinking to yourself about how you want to conduct yourself, how you want to live, how you want to engage with the world around you in 2021. And there's lots of ways you can answer this, but one of the ways that is a very normal way for people to utilize is to use some sort of journal, use a sort of day planner that allows you to sort of think about your day and break it up and that sort of stuff. It's very boring, but it can be very useful. But if you'd like to make that a little less boring for you, there's an interesting product called the Hero's Journal. And it is a daily journal. I think each one of the books lasts 3 months, so you get 3 months out of it. And what you do is you set up a quest for yourself, and each day you reflect upon the things that you're thankful for, the things that are allies in your quest, the things that are going to be hindrances in your quest, and the things you're going to do to try to gain your quest, to try to complete your quest. And it's a neat way to kind of rethink about the very boring, very mundane, this is what I got to get done today. And the Hero's Journal, it's just a nifty little thing.
You know, that really sounds like a Franklin Covey daily planner.
It is. I mean, honest to God, it is a daily planner. It's all it is. It's as boring and mundane and who cares about it as possible. But if you've got to do it, if you find a daily planner useful for you in some capacity, if you're a gamer or if you're somebody you know who's a gamer who needs one, this could be a fun way to make it a little less boring. You know, engage your hobby just a little bit on the boring day-to-day minutia.
How much is that?
I was afraid you would ask that. Hold on, let me look.
I'm concerned with money because, you know.
Why you need another table to hold your gold?
I know it comes in two different forms.
I'm going to post on Facebook what is actually behind me.
Lies.
It's probably a good idea. Well, I forgot to mention your diamond encrusted vault that was behind the table.
I hide it in that sewer pipe. That's behind me.
Okay, so it comes in two different versions. There's a digital one if you like to work digitally. There is a paperback one if you prefer the traditional paper version. The digital one I think is like $25, $30, something like that. The paperback one with a digital is $50. Again, that's only 3 months, so it's $150 a year. These aren't cheap, but they're a very nice bound book. You can get them in different colors. I think there's a green and a red and a black and different colors available to you. They have lots of interesting doodles and artwork, fantasy themed inside of them, and you can color them in if you're of the mind to do coloring. So it's kind of neat.
Cool. So I have actually a rapid fire to knock off the rest of mine. Is that cool? Is everybody okay with that?
Oh, this will be good.
Rapid fire?
Well, it's
I'm just curious to see
rapid fire as I can be. So the first is a Curse of Strahd revamp premium edition. It's $70, so it's expensive. But it comes in a box that's shaped like a coffin, and it contains the the softcover adventure book with updated content, then Creatures of Horror, and that's a booklet containing all the monsters and NPCs in the adventure. Tarot booklet. Steven, maybe you can help me here. I know it's a made-up word. Tarokka.
What in God's name? Taroka?
Yeah, that sounds right. Tarokka booklet, and basically it's a word they made up for tarot cards. I don't know why they did that, but...
when there's a perfectly good word for tarot cards?
Right. They're unique to Strahd, so there's 54 card deck, and it's used in the game in various parts of the game. And then there's a 4-panel DM screen, 21 by 30 double-sided map. There are 4 handouts. I'm not sure what's on those. I couldn't find any information on what's on the handouts. There's probably a YouTube channel of somebody who's reviewed it. I wasn't able to find it really quickly, but that'd be interesting. And 12 postcards of different locations around Barovia, which is the world or the setting for the Curse of Strahd adventure. And Frank?
So 2 things. First of all, maybe we should introduce a secondary drinking game. Anytime Jimmy mentions Curse of Strahd, you have to take a drink. And secondly, I think he's a little confused about the term rapid fire.
Well, okay,
right.
Maybe not super rapid fire, but that's all I'm going to say about that one. And then moving on, there's T-shirts because we.
Did you? I'm sorry. Did you mention how much that was?
Yes, $70.
$70. Okay,
so
sorry,
it's expensive. I don't know what the regular hardcover module is. How much?
Well, normally the
worth,
hardcover modules are like $40,
Yeah.
30, 40, $50. So it's not that much more expensive, really. I mean, you know.
So if you're really into it,
Yeah, but it's so much harder to store because it's shaped like a damn coffin.
yeah, that was my big problem with it. But I still thought it was pretty neat for those people who are really into the Ravenloft setting. T-shirts, I found 3 T-shirts that all 3 actually made me chuckle. So if you guys ever want to buy me a T-shirt, here you go. The first is a Traveler T-shirt, drink. You haven't lived until you've died during character creation. And that's the Traveler T-shirt that I found. It's priced at $24. Comes in a variety of colors and sizes. The second one is, this one made me chuckle, is Carpe Diem with a dragon logo behind it. And that comes in at $16.99. And it's at the Mimic Gaming Company. It comes in a variety of colors and sizes as well. And then the last one, which is very appropriate for all of my D&D games, is a picture of a D20 with 1 showing. And below that is the text, well, fuck. And that's priced at $18.99 because that's all I ever roll when we're playing our Dungeons & Dragons games. So that's my T-shirts. And then I have dice scrolls. These are, yep, Frank.
Okay, so there are a lot of great D&D or fantasy or gaming based T-shirts out there. I did want to take a second to highlight Etsy is a great source for finding a lot of unique role playing things out there. You can find a lot of those interesting T-shirts on Amazon, but a lot of them are found on Etsy. So don't be afraid to look there. The other thing I wanted to point out about D&D specific T-shirts is, if you're not familiar with the blue box and the red box, they were the original kind of box sets for D&D that came out. They were the basic and the expert rules, and they had these really cool pictures on the front of them. There are actually some T-shirts out there that have those reproduced, which I think, you know, as an old school, and this is just really, really neat.
So where are the 3 T-shirts, Jimmy, that you are talking about with prices yet no locations?
Yeah, we'll post those, but the first one, the Traveler T-shirt, came from Etsy. The second one, I think, was available on Etsy, but I have it listed as the Mimic Gaming Company, so that's probably the store on Etsy, and we'll have a link to that. And the third one, the Well Fuck shirt, came off of Amazon. So those where those 3 came from. The next thing I have is dice scrolls. These are scrolls that you roll out, and you can roll your dice on them. And in the round part of the scroll, you have 3 little tubes that you can put miniatures or dice in, and that's $28.99, and you can get that at the Critical Role store. Then you have dice towers you can get at Wormwood Gaming if you have somebody like me who's a multimillionaire, and I have gold stuff sitting in the sewer pipe behind me. Then you could buy this for all of your friends, and they have a really nice dice tower as well as many other things. But the dice tower that comes in at $200 to $320 depending on the type of wood you select. I don't know what nerds are buying this stuff. I mean, there must be really wealthy guys out there buying this stuff, but I thought it was really cool. So if any of you guys want to buy that for me for Christmas, way cool. And then the last thing I have is Christmas in Kingsport. And this is a Christmas Adventures for Call of Cthulhu. The paperback print of the book is out of print. Couldn't find it anywhere, but chaosium.com, you can pick up the PDF for $6.95. And I'm done.
There are a ton. I'm sorry, Steve. There are a ton of really hilarious shirts on Etsy. If you look around, I being somebody who has a cat like Dungeon Meowster, that's just amuses me at a juvenile level. But my other favorite one, because I tell a lot of them, is a D20 with a 1 on it. And it says Dad Joe Charisma Check.
My kids are going to get me that one.
I'm just thinking, you know, if people could see your room, Jimmy, and you strip away the veneer of
artifice,
wealth, of, you know.
Are those supermodels behind you?
Yes,
That's
they are.
A Lamborghini? What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah,
Well,
if
you know.
people could see the exposed cinder block and sewer pipe in my head, what I want to hear, I want to have a little cartoon with you dressed as like a reject superhero, like Robin, but not Robin, and you're screaming something about getting to the Shat Cave. And it's just
Holy
I
literal
want-
crap, Batman.
Yes. I mean, is that a shop vac there
Yes.
in the background on the
Yes.
floor?
Yep.
Oh, it's full. Oh, and God, what is it full of?
You
Oh
don't
my
wanna-
God.
You
Full
don't
of
wanna
money.
know.
Full of
$100
It's
bills.
full of
It's how he
money,
hides it.
money and diamonds.
Yeah.
Had to suck them all up. They fell out of the cracks.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just going to
it.
throw those
That was the
away.
important thing. Your toilet sink broke, and everything in the reservoir poured
Toilet
down into the pipe, and you had to extract
Where do you store all your
Johnson.
diamonds and gold? In my toilet.
my toilet.
An alternate vision, Stephen, if you will, is perhaps he's a version of the Joker trying to put things into the sewer system to, you know, do his deeds.
Smilex, if you want to go back a little bit.
I actually have a gold-plated septic tank. I don't go into the regular people, the low people's sewer system. I have my own.
Okay, so we've digressed for a bit now. Let's. Is there anything else that people wanted to highlight and things that you could get for your gamer?
I just have one final thought for the holiday season, and that is peace on earth. And if you're going to slay someone, make sure it's in the virtual world or on your tabletop game.
And that they're evil.
John.
Yeah, they have to be of opposite alignment, I should say.
I feel singled out when people are saying these things. Come on.
Why? I don't know why, John.
Really singled out. Yeah.
It's like
Anyone-
if you were my familiar, I'd call you Stabbers.
You know, like we got our
It
new.
sounds like an assassin's butler.
That's right.
Stabbers.
Oh,
Bring me my
stabbers.
knives. Stabbers, I need my knives.
Momentarily, sir.
So that's all I
Here's
have.
a poison dagger.
Okay, so if you check out the YouTube channel, you should be able to see the links to all these that we mentioned. We'll try to get them on Facebook as well. As Steve-O mentioned, if you have any ideas, feel free to put it on the Facebook or hit us up at any of our social media or any of the contact information that's coming along in a minute. We genuinely hope that however you celebrate the holidays and whatever it is that is your way of doing so, you have a good time, and hopefully you can find a way to get some gaming in there as well. Happy holidays from all of us at the Geeks, and we'll see you in the new year.
Wait a minute. We'll see before the new year.
I know.
We'll have another episode.
I'm aware of that. I was trying to be, you know, I was just trying to wrap it up, and you can just cut that part off then.
See you right after
Thank you.
Christmas.
We'll catch you next week.
For bringing that out there, Steve-O.
In fact, we'll have two more.
I was trying to say a nice sentiment, and I blew it. Granted.
We
You know
are
what?
so
Screw
polished.
you. Have a terrible holidays. I don't care.
It's so polished.
We're so
Merry
professional.
We're the
Christmas,
Grinch
everyone.
gamer that stole Christmas. That's who we are.
There you go. Don't forget to rate and review. Check us out on social media.
And we're out.
That's all we have for this week. Thanks for spending time with us. Please leave a review and comments wherever you listen. It helps others find the show.
If you have topic suggestions or would like to get in touch, you can reach us at roleplaygeeks@roleplaygeeks.com. Head on over to the website for an archive of all our previous shows, as well as links to all our social media channels. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next week.